questions, please ask for the microphone before any questions. Coach, open statement.
All right. You know, that's kind of college softball when it gets down to the nitty gritty. We can talk about how their kids can beat it. We can talk about how our kids can beat it. But, you can talk about how the fans can beat it. But that was a fun 2 or 3 hours, no matter what side you end up on, because you had a lot of kids playing the game the right way and getting after it. I'm proud of our kids. Early on, it wasn't going our way. Offensively, we couldn't get into a rhythm. Made a couple errors uncharacteristically. Gave them some infield hits. But our kids just hung with it. And they kept battling. And they kept battling. And they kept fighting. And they just stayed together. And found a way to scratch it out and get it done. And it's just like we talked about last night. Now we got to see if we have enough discipline, enough maturity to enjoy the win, but understand that this thing is just beginning. Just getting started.
Questions? Please wait for the microphone.
Jordan, it was the kind of game, like Coach was saying, it wasn't pretty the whole way, but you just kind of hung in there. Just talk about, you had some control, a little bit of control trouble early and had runners in scoring position, but kept getting that third out and just hung in there, and then you seemed to get stronger as the game went on.
Yeah, I just was trying to trust my pitches, trust my defense, and pretty much I wasn't as I wasn't hitting my spots as well and in the beginning of the game, so I was just trying to give it to my defense.
Did you felt better in the 5th, 6th, and 6th than you did in the 7th and the first 4?
I definitely think I worked out some kinks in the last few innings that helped me and just gave me a little more confidence than the beginning of the game.
DJ, that wasn't the most characteristic game that you've had all season. Defensively and offensively, you were the only one with more than, you had 3 hits, no one else had more than 1 hit. So just talk about those both sides of the play, how you had this success, and then how you got over the mistakes on defense.
I think that even though I didn't play kind of the same way I usually do on defense, but that's kind of like what it's about, like trying to find a way to still compete even though you did mess up. And I feel like even usually I use one or the other. Like if I'm not so good hitting, I try to use my defense to keep me up and in the game. But this time, since my defense is kind of iffy, I was trying to find another way to contribute and help out the team.
Aaliyah, talk about that last at bat. I'm sure Jordan loved it, having a 2-run lead instead of the 1-run lead. Just talk about that at bat. You and a lot of hitters didn't really have seemed to struggle a lot during the day, but got a big hit at the end.
Yeah. Well, my main goal was to go up there and compete and just go up there for my teammates, not just for me, but for everybody else, and go up there and win a pitch and do the best I could.
Coach, either you or Jordan could answer this question. Was there anywhere you guys were out of the circle and the umpire came out there? Was he talking something about or mentioning or possibly that Jordan was looking like she is throwing an illegal pitch or something?
No.
Okay. I was wondering what that was about, and I thought that's what.
I mean, early in the game, we're just trying to figure out the zone. You're talking about she's having control problems from where I sat. We're talking about inches to me. But I think control problems, I'm thinking we're calling a pitch somewhere and it's going somewhere different. I thought early on she was sharp. And we're just trying to figure out where the zone is. And these guys know what they're doing. I know all of them. from over the years. So you know you're going to get a fair shot. You just want to know what's in their mind. You give it here, you give it where you give it. And once we figure that out, then she's smart enough and she's good enough to go attack those spots. And defensively, I thought DJ had a couple of tough plays maybe she didn't make, but she made some great plays too. And Aaliyah's first at bat where she went 8, 9, 10 pitches, that like fired everybody up. Even though she ended up striking out. Aaliyah, she was battling, fouling pitches off. Kind of gave us some energy. So sometimes it appears like they're failing or they're not getting their names on this piece of paper. But in reality, what they're doing and the way they're competing is they're building the momentum for later in the game. That's what I saw.
Jordan, I think after the 2 innings, the second inning, I think you're right, close to around 70 pitches. It seemed like when you got to the 4th inning, you guys, you were putting pressure on them, getting better swings at the bat, at the ball on her. Did you feel your energy level pick up a little bit more?
Well, I just know that my team's behind me, and they're gonna get hits. Like, we're one of the best hitting teams in the country, and I had faith in that. And I just knew that if I did my job and kept them off the board, then we would eventually win. So.
Yeah, considering that y'all have seen Stearns before, you've seen her in person in a game situation, did that help out? You're not just looking at a notepad, you're not just looking at video of y'all have seen her. Does that help when you're coming up with a mental game plan during an at bat? Does that help y'all that y'all have seen her kind of in a game situation before?
Yeah, I think since we've seen her before, that we had a better plan. We knew what she could throw, and it just helped us make adjustments easier at the plate.
She's good. She was on her game today, and she was on her game last time she threw against us too. And we expect her to be on her game again tomorrow, or whoever we play. But that kid's good. If you look at her line score, you look at Jordan's, they look almost exactly the same.
Right.
Coach, you said a lot of these games at this time of year it'll come down to a base running play or an error or something like that. Does it make you feel good that their pitcher was on her game and y'all made some errors and you're still able to figure out a way to win?
Yes, and playing at home is such a huge advantage. I wish we could play at home in the postseason for the last 15 years. Starting to figure this stuff out. I mean, that crowd was crazy good today. But I agree with what you're saying. Our kids were good too. The way that they just kept competing and working through not playing their best game was pretty impressive too.
Take 2 more. Anybody else? Kevin?
Coach, I know you're not going to say who you're going to pitch what, but just in general, how much of an advantage do you have pitching-wise, you think, over whoever comes out of this winning these 2 games, or where are you there?
To be honest with you right now, my mind is, it hadn't even gone there. And I want to see how Jordan recovers. And they hit Christina pretty good last time out. And Alex had a lot of success against him the last time she threw. So, man, it's gonna be, you just ruined my celebration, man.
Take one more,
Of
guys.
course, I'm assuming it's gonna be Baylor. It may not be. If you assume it's gonna be Baylor, it's gonna be a war. And I'm getting ready to go watch this game. Whoever, if somebody out of this game can get some momentum going, it's gonna be tough to get after them too. Like, this thing is a long way from being over. Hopefully we don't go celebrate tonight. We have enough maturity to understand that the difference in those last games against Baylor have been razor thin. And we gotta bring our best. We have to bring our best tomorrow.
Take one more, guys.
But for right now, I'm gonna smile and enjoy this one. I'm so proud of these kids, and I'm proud of this community and this fan base for the way they stand behind these kids.
Anything else?